Welcome back to Boring Fantasy for Sleep. Tonight, we conduct a verbatim inventory of the working tools and geometric symbols of the Masonic Temple as documented in 1797. We shall disregard the secrets, the mysteries, and the handshakes. Our focus is held strictly by the physical dimensions of the 24-inch gauge, the technical application of the common gavel, and the repetitive alignment of the square and the compass. There is no hidden knowledge here, only the measured weight of the symbolic stone. Close your eyes and let the rhythmic catalogue of angles and elevations pull you into a deep architectural rest. Sleep well.
The 24-inch gauge is an instrument made use of by operative masons to measure and lay out their work. It is divided into 24 equal parts, representing the 24 hours of the day. We observe the first 8 inches, dedicated to the service of the divine. The second 8 inches are dedicated to our usual vocations and labour. The last 8 inches are dedicated to refreshment and sleep. The common gavel is an instrument made use of by operative masons to break off the corners of rough stones. It is used to fit the stone for the builder's use. We calculate the force of the gavel as a mechanical necessity for the removal of irregularities. The gavel is composed of a heavy head and a wooden handle of standard length. Its purpose is the divestment of the heart and conscience of all the vices and superfluities of life. We audit the surface of the ashlar. The rough ashlar is a stone as taken from the quarry in its rude and natural state. The perfect ashlar is a stone made ready by the hands of the workman. It is to be adjusted by the working tools of the fellow craft. We measure the sides of the cube to ensure they are perfectly equal. The square is an instrument made use of by operative masons to square their work. It consists of 2 arms of metal, meeting at an angle of 90 degrees. We observe the intersection of the horizontal and the vertical. It is the symbol of morality. The alignment must be tested against a standard reference point. The level is an instrument made use of by operative masons to lay horizontals. It ensures that the foundation is even with the horizon of the earth. We observe the movement of the bubble within the glass tube. The level is the symbol of equality. A deviation of 1/16 of an inch is recorded as a technical failure. The plumb is an instrument made use of by operative masons to erect perpendiculars. It consists of a leaden weight suspended by a flaxen cord. The cord is held at a fixed point above the stone. Gravity ensures the line is perfectly vertical. The plumb is the symbol of rectitude. The weight remains still in the absence of wind. The ornaments of a lodge are the mosaic pavement, the indented tessel, and the blazing star. The mosaic pavement is a representation of the ground floor of Solomon's Temple. It consists of alternating squares of black and white marble. We count the squares along the north-south axis. We count the squares along the east-west axis. The indented tessel is the beautiful tessellated border which surrounds the pavement. It is composed of a series of repeated geometric patterns. The blazing star is situated in the center. It remains fixed. It is the symbol of the divine providence. The 3 lesser lights are situated in the east, the west, and the south. There is no light in the north. The north is a place of darkness. We observe the 3 candles, each held in a brass candlestick of uniform design. The candles are composed of tallow and cotton wick. The burn rate is measured at 1 inch per hour. 24 inches. 8 for sleep, 90 degrees. The square is true. The line is plumb. The floor is level. The black square is followed by the white square. The white square is followed by the black square. The pattern is infinite and repetitive. The audit of the temple symbols is complete. The three great pillars which support the lodge are called wisdom, strength, and beauty. We classify these pillars by their specific architectural orders. The pillar of wisdom is of the Ionic order. It is characterized by the volutes of its capital, which resemble the curls of a ram's horn. We measure the ratio of the column's height to its base diameter at exactly 9:1. The pillar of strength is of the Doric order. It is the most ancient and simple of the orders. It possesses no base, and its shaft is fluted with 20 grooves. The capital is plain and sturdy, designed to sustain the heaviest of weights. We observe the transition from the square abacus to the circular echinus. The pillars of beauty is of the Corinthian order. It is the most ornate of the three. Its capital is adorned with 2 rows of acanthus leaves and 8 small volutes. The height of the capital is exactly 1 1/8 of the diameter of the lower part of the column. The proportions are recorded in the architectural ledger. We now audit the 6 jewels of the lodge. 3 are called movable, and 3 are immovable. The immovable jewels are the square, the level, and the plumb. They are called immovable because they are occupied by particular officers and are always found in their respective stations in the lodge. We measure the distance between each station to ensure the geometry of the room remains fixed. The movable jewels are the rough ashlar, the perfect ashlar, and the trestle board. The trestle board is a board for the master to draw his designs upon. It is composed of a smooth wooden surface, painted with a light grey wash. We observe the lines of the architect, drawn with a pencil of graphite. The board is positioned on a stand at a height of 42 inches. The jewels are composed of a standard brass alloy. They are polished weekly to maintain a uniform reflectance. We record the weight of the perfect ashlar at exactly 84 pounds. Its surface is checked for imperfections using a magnifying glass. The inventory of the jewels is verified and signed by the tiler. Ionic, Doric, Corinthian. The pillars are upright. The weight is distributed. The rough ashlar, the perfect ashlar, the trestle board. The tools are resting on the velvet. The brass is cooling in the night air. The circle is squared. The volume is constant. The audit of the fraternity's assets is complete. The ascent to the middle chamber is made via a winding staircase. It consists of 3, 5, and 7 steps. We audit the first 3 steps, which represent the 3 principal stages of human life: youth, manhood, and age. We observe the rise and run of each step, measured at 7 inches by 11 inches. The next 5 steps represent the 5 orders of architecture: the Tuscan, the Doric, the Ionic, the Corinthian, and the Composite. We have previously audited the Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian. We now record the Tuscan as the most simple, its column being 7 diameters high. We record the Composite as a mechanical mixture of the others, its height being 10 diameters. Each step is composed of solid granite. The final 7 steps represent the 7 liberal arts and sciences. We categorize them as grammar, rhetoric, logic, arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. Geometry is the basis upon which the superstructure of masonry is erected. It is the science which treats of the powers and properties of magnitudes in general. We observe the point, the line, the superfice, and the solid. R. A point is a dimensionless position in space. A line is a figure of one capacity, namely length. A superfice is a figure of two dimensions, namely length and breadth. A solid is a figure of three dimensions, namely length, breadth, and thickness. We audit the solid, for it is the state of the ashlar. The 47th problem of Euclid is the foundation of our geometric audit. It states that in any right-angled triangle, the square which is described upon the side subtending the right angle is equal to the squares described upon the sides which contain the right angle. We calculate the areas. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. 9 and 16 are 25. The equation is balanced and remains static. The globes, celestial and terrestrial, are situated upon the tops of the pillars. They are spheres on which are represented the various countries of the earth and the constellations of the heavens. Their circumference is exactly 28 inches. They are composed of brass and finished with a dull lacquer. We observe the axis of rotation, which is fixed at an angle of 23.5 degrees. 3 steps, 5 steps, 7 steps. The staircase is complete. The middle chamber is reached. Grammar is silent. Arithmetic is solved. Geometry is fixed. The brass globes are cold. The plumb line has ceased its vibration. The lights are extinguished in the south. The lights are extinguished in the west. The audit of the geometric temple is concluded. Sleep. Calculated. Calculated in the angle. Calculated in the dark.